All right, John Oakes here with HANKSTERS Hot Rods here in Homer City, Pennsylvania. And today we've got our newest addition to our inventory, this being a real 1966, this is Chevrolet Chevelle Ss Super Sport. So again, a real SS, a real 138 VIN code car here. So we're going to go ahead, just like we always do, take you through the underside, and then we'll lower it down, take you around the outside, and all the other stuff that we normally do there with you. So again, up on the lift, we start at the back here. So again, stock fuel tank back here. Looks to be in real good condition too. The mounting hardware, the straps, the bolts that tie it up there, those look to be in all good condition. Good solid straps up there too. You can see the rear sections of frame rail back here. Very nice and straight and square back here in this car. Dual exhaust as well, tailpipes that come out here to the rear of the car as they should. They are turned down here right after the quarter panel though. So again, you won't have any extensions or anything hanging out the back, but a nice clean look here with them exiting out just the way that they should. Now as far as the driving gear back here on the rear of the car, we do have all four BF Goodrich radial TA tires up here. They're all four the same size too. So same size, same tread, all in good condition here. These are 235/60 SR15 tires. They are mounted on factory steel rally wheels also that are in excellent shape, complete with the beauty rings and the center caps on these as well. Now inside of the wheels for stopping power, on the back we've got drum brakes, up front's disc, but they were on the back, so this is drum. We've got a set of air shocks back here along with the factory suspension, so your coilover's mounted up here, and then your your metric 4-link back here. So your lower control arms, your upper control arms, those are all your stock stamped steel components. This is a GM 12-bolt rear end also, and you can see the brake lines are run up and over across the rear end as they should be too. No kinks in that brake line. Looks to be in good shape there too, going to each side of the drum brakes there. All right, and here we are now underneath the center here of our 66 Chevrolet Chevelle Ss. And again, as I mentioned, these floors not to disappoint. Again, all solid, all one-piece floors the whole way up through here. They look to be the original floors, or if they were replaced, they replaced the whole thing. They did not piece it. So again, all done correctly, all looks great. There's no real undercoating underneath here either. It's just all painted a nice flat black paint underneath here. So if there was any imperfections, you'd be able to see it, and I do not see any. So again, all the correct stamped steel floors, and they are in excellent shape on this car. The exhaust system looks to be fairly new on this car too. You can see the pipes coming from the long tube ceramic coated headers all the way back here. Nice mandrel bends in here. Again, that exhaust looks to be, you know, almost new on this thing. Tucked up nice and tight here in the, you know, next to the drive shaft to get as much clearance as possible underneath here. I know sometimes you sacrifice that with the long tube headers, but even those don't fit too bad. They're about even with your transmission pan, so I can't complain with the fitment of the headers and the exhaust on this car. Again, the frame rails coming back, the sides of the cars here on both sides, nice and straight and square on this car. Again, excellent condition underneath here. I can see that the emergency brake cables are all hooked up too on the car. All the correct hardware, the frame J hooks, everything like that. The cables run all the way back on both sides. Fuel line, brake lines, those all look to be hung up nice and bent nice. Again, no kinks in anything that I can see underneath here, so should be no issues there. Transmission cross member. This is a nice cross member here, kind of a tubular style cross member. The actual tail shaft mount here looks to be, looks like it's probably been replaced here before too long. It's nice and soft here too. The mounting hardware, the bolts are look to be, you know, fairly new too on this. So again, that looks all in good condition. The transmission, this is an automatic transmission. the Turbo 400. So again, it's the 3-speed automatic Turbo 400. Again, you can see the pan on the bottom here, aluminum pan, and there's no marks at all on it as far as dents or dings. So again, it, nothing's been, in contact with it to cause any kind of damage there. It does have the plastic flywheel cover also. I know I always talk about this on all of our cars, but again, a good safety aspect here to have. It keeps any dirt or debris from coming in, possibly nipping a tooth off of your flywheel. So again, that's in place and will help against any kind of premature failure that may occur in that area of the car. Okay, we're here now under the front of the car, and we're going to take a look at steering and suspension components on our 66 Chevelle here now. So as you can see, as far as that goes, that's all stock components. So all the suspension, your lower control arms, your upper A arms, that's all factory stamped steel components. Your coil springs, that's all factory suspension that you have up here. We do have the front sway bar here, again, helps tie the two front corners together and helps with that drivability and steering on the car whenever you're putting it into a corner a little hard. As far as ball joints go, everything looks to be in good shape. All the little rubber dust boots are all intact the whole way across this front end. That's good. It keeps any dirt and debris out of there, keeps the grease in. Everything looks to have been maintained on this car too. You can see that it has been greased. All grease fittings, or Zerk fittings as they're called, they're all intact also. Again, all the steering components too, your tie rods, the drag link here, that all looks to be fairly new stuff too. So ball joints and everything, again, like I said, good condition, good and tight. So your steering is going to be super responsive on this car. It's not going to wander all over the place. Real nice setup here on this car. Again, power steering car. This is power brakes also, and on the front we do have disc brakes. Disc brakes. So it's just going to be regular GM rotors and calipers whenever you go to the auto parts store to replace any of that stuff. But again, disc brakes up front, drums in the back, and they're power disc up front. As far as everything else goes, it's pretty much all the same as what we already went over on the back end of the car. As I said, for our tires, all four are the same size, same name brand, the BF Goodrich Radial TAs, 235/60 SR15s, mounted on those factory steel 15-inch rally wheels, the painted wheels with the beauty rings and the center caps on them. And that's really about all we can say about the underside of this car. I mean, there's a few things I can kind of point out. Looking underneath here, I can see it's got a factory or stock style radiator in it, a 6-blade flex fan in there, along with the fan shroud. I can see the tranny lines are run back through, so your tranny cooler is actually built inside of the radiator there. It is a big block car too. Again, a Super Sport Chevelle, big block, and I do believe I ran the numbers on this, and I believe it comes out to be a 1969 396 motor block. Now that's a non-original motor, but it is a big block 396, and that's what everybody wants in these cars. You can see the oil pan on this one is flawless, no marks at all on it. The cross member here also nice and straight. Again, you can tell it's never been hit by anything on the underside of this car. All in good shape. You can see a little better angle now of those long tube ceramic coated headers there too, to help it breathe a little better out the exhaust. So other than that, that's really about all we have to go over under the front end here. So now it's time, we'll get it down off the lift. We'll go around the outside for you. All right, here we are now. We got our 66 Chevelle Ss down off of our lift. So we got it down here on the floor in our studio here. So we're gonna take you around now, show you how nice this car is from bottom to top. So again, 66 Chevrolet Chevelle Ss, a real SS car, real 138 VIN code car. This has a beautiful burgundy finish on it here. Nice, smooth, shiny exterior here for you. Now again, it does have all of your emblems that your SS would normally have. So emblems like on the front fender here, your 396 turbojet cross flags emblem that you'll see on both sides. Obviously, we've got all the trim here too. So your bright, polished wheellet moldings here, all four corners, obviously. Again, we've already mentioned that we've had those 15-inch factory steel rally wheels with the beauty rings and the center caps. And again, all of that is in good condition, polished up really nice. The BF Goodrich radial TA tires. That was the 235/60 SR15s on all four corners too. So again, you have a car like this and you've got the tire and wheel setup that you do on this car. You can go ahead and rotate your tires every so often, no problem whatsoever, versus an individual that may have put different size wheels or different size tires front to back on the car. So again, you can do all of that very easily with this particular car. Now as we continue on back here, we do have a very nice fitment of the door here. So again, your gaps here, you can see your gap on the front side of the door and even the gap on the back side of the door. Very uniform. The elevations are pretty good on this car too. They look to be pretty spot on there. Also, we have the bright polished up mirrors here, both driver and passenger side mirror on this car. So again, you can see 360 degrees basically around this car. No blind spots except for your normal ones that you would have. You also have the bright molding down here on the rocker, all the way back from the front fender all the way back to the rear fender. Again, that is nice and straight, polished up good, and again, no dents or dings in that whatsoever. Bright drip rail molding too, polished up real nice here. And again, in good condition, nice and straight, not bent, no dings or dents in that either. Even your trim work here around your wing window here, there's no pitting of the chrome. It's polished up nice, looks good. So we'll go ahead, as we always do, just open our door up here real quick. Again, we always go more in depth with the interior as we get to that point. But again, just want to show you, you do have the rubber bump stops here, both on the top and down on the bottom of the door. Your weather stripping here is in really good condition here. Looks to be fairly new. Again, no real cracks or tears to mention on it. And again, that goes the whole way around the door. So again, it should seal up just fine from the elements. You got your threshold plate or your door sill plate. That looks to be good. Door panels, bucket seats, all black vinyl interior in the car there. Again, we'll go more in depth with that as we get there. You close that door, close is nice and easy there. Good solid thud, so you know it's shut and it's tight. Again, weather stripping, the seals, everything working as they should. Again, as we come to the back here now on the quarter panel, those bright polished wheellet moldings again, the factory rally wheels. And then of course, we have the Super Sport emblem back here on the quarter panel, which does signify what this car is. All right, here we are now standing at the back of our 66 Chevelle SS car. Again, you're just going to give it a good overall look here and just be able to tell that this car was put together good, fit and finish on everything back here, just as nice as the whole entire rest of the car. Now, a lot of times on these 66 Chevelles, you'll have some problem areas right in these corners here, where they will typically show signs of, rust and so forth. Not on this car though. These are absolutely perfect in through here on both sides. So again, there's no signs of rust. And again, whenever we showed you the underside of the car, you can tell how well this car was really taken care of just by looking at the care and all the attention to detail that they paid to this car from top to bottom. So again, you've got your bright molding around your rear glass here also. Excellent condition, polished up to a beautiful shine, mirror-like finish, nice and straight. There's no dents or dings in that whatsoever. The rear glass on this car too, perfect condition. There's no scratches, there's no chips or anything out of this glass. So again, all of that is nice. Something I just noticed as well that I'd like to point out, little safety feature for anybody that's in this car as well as somebody behind the car. They installed an LED third brake light back here, and it's wired up and it works. So again, nice little safety feature for you. Now, getting back to the actual structure of the car back here, the trunk lid, you can see nice big trunk lid. Again, nice and smooth, shiny burgundy paint back here. Your gaps the whole way around that trunk, you can look the whole way around it. Very uniform, so they've got the trunk fitted on this, very good. You can see all the bright work, the trim work here around the tail panel, even your tail light bezels here, the lenses on the tail lights and backup lights, perfect condition. There's no chips, no cracks in any of that. Of course, you've got your Chevelle emblem back here on the tail panel, along with the SS 396 emblem as well. See the big chrome bumper back here, again, excellent condition, nicely polished up to a mirror-like finish. What we'll do now is we'll go ahead and open our trunk and take a look inside here. Again, so much attention to detail here. The underside of this has been, you know, the same nice bright shiny burgundy paint. A lot of times they'll just let this flat under here, they don't shoot the clear in. You can see this one they've done that with, so nice and shiny inside as well as outside. You've got a full-size spare tire back here, complete with the bumper jack, the pad for the bumper jack, and again you have the crowbar in there also, or the lug wrench. Your weather stripping the whole way around the trunk here, that looks to be all new. It's very soft and supple there. No cracks or tears whatsoever in that. So again, sealing up from the elements should not be an issue. Your trunk lid even has the little rubber bump stops as well on the trunk lid. Nicely painted up. Trunk floor itself, all one piece, no patches whatsoever. Done with the correct gray and white trunk spatter paint, and again a very nice full width trunk mat in here as well to help, you know, keep things looking good and, you know, stock and original as they can for inside the trunk. So we'll go ahead and close this up. We're all done in here, and then we'll go to the passenger side, real quickly walk that up, and then we'll go ahead to the front of the car. Alright, here on the passenger side now, this we'll just do real quick. Everything's going to be the same as over on the driver's side there, except just the passenger side. So now we've got our Super Sport emblem back here on the rear quarter panel. Again, excellent shape there. Again, those look to be all new emblems too. I can't foresee that they've gone this far with a restoration on this car and, you know, reused emblems, so these look to be all new on this car, so keep that in mind. Got the bright wheel lip moldings again, all four corners, the 15-inch rally wheels with the beauty rings and the center caps, and the BF Goodrich radial TA rubber, all four corners, and those tires look to be fairly new too. All the tread is pretty much at 100% on all four corners. Again, the bright drip rail molding in excellent shape. The side of the car, as you look down it, nice and laser straight too. You don't see any ripples or waves going down the sides on this car whatsoever. Door gap now on your passenger side. You can see the back side here. Match that up with the front side, and they are pretty close, probably dead on there. And again, elevations on here on this side, very well also with that. Again, weather stripping up along the top on both sides. I failed to mention over there, that all looks to be pretty new, if not brand new on this car. No chunks out of it, no rips or tears. As we open up our door, same as over on the other side. We've got the rubber bump stops on the top and down at the bottom. Weather stripping that looks to be fairly new, if not new. The whole way around that door, again, in excellent shape. Even your door jamb U-seals, those are good. Threshold plate on this side in good condition too. And again, the black vinyl interior, all black carpeting. All seat belts are present too in this car. So again, another nice little safety feature there. You can, you know, put however many people you want to in here and keep them strapped down, and they're going to be good and safe. So we'll close that door. Again, it closes nice and easy, good solid thud. Got the rocker panel molding again on this side. Very straight, not dented in or dinged in anywhere, polished up real nice. We've already mentioned the mirrors, again, both sides, driver and passenger side, and those are the bright chrome mirrors there. And again, just like on the other side, that chrome trim around your wing window, even that is in perfect shape, nicely polished up, and no pitting on any of the chrome. Even your trim around the windshield is in excellent shape. It's not dented up, polished up real nice too. And the glass up here, windshield, again, perfect condition, no marks whatsoever. There's no chips out of it, no cracks obviously. So again, windshield, all the glass the whole way around in good condition on this car. Front fender, again, those bright wheel lip moldings, the 15-inch rally wheels, and as I mentioned, on both sides, we've got the 396 turbojet cross flag emblems here on the front fender. So at this time, we'll just come up to the nose here. And finally, we made it 360 degrees around this car. We are now at the front end, obviously. So again, 66 Chevelle Super Sport car. Very noticeable front end on this car. So you got all 4 sealed beam lights here across the front. All of these, again, traditional sealed beam glass lenses. No cracks, no chips in any of those lenses. The headlight bezels around those are in excellent shape. The grille work here, a nice blacked out grille where it should be. That looks to be in great shape. There's nothing missing. It's not broke anywhere. It's all solid one-piece grille. You've got the SS396 front grille emblem here right in the center. And again, all of your other trim and bright work here around the front end here is in excellent shape. Nice and straight, not dented or dinged, polished up to a mirror-like finish. Big steel SS hood here too. Again, SS because it's got those louvers here up here in the top of the hood. And again, those are plastic. They're non-functional. They were always just for looks on these cars, but those are in excellent shape too. Again, nice smooth shiny paint here. You've got the small hood ornament here right at the front edge of the hood here. And then again, the big front chrome bumper here, polished up to a mirror-like finish in excellent shape. Now let's go ahead under the hood here and we'll talk about the motor here for just a moment. Now again, under the hood, you've got the flat black paint. You've got the hood insulation tucked up in where it should be. And again, it's in good shape. It's not torn. It's not hanging down anywhere. It's packed up in just as it should be, doing what it should be, and that's insulating, you know, keeping the heat under the engine and not letting it cook the hood. So what we have here as far as a motor goes, it is a 396 cubic inch motor. Upon checking the numbers on it, it factors out that it is a 1969 396 cubic inch big block Chevrolet motor. It does have the chrome air cleaner with the reusable air filter. It's got the big chrome big block valve covers here too. You do have the PCV valve, and you've got a breather over on this other side. We've got an Edelbrock Performer ZO intake here, aluminum intake, and that's going to help save a lot of weight on that big block motor. And then we also have a Rochester 4-barrel carburetor on here, and that does have the electric choke on it, so that'll help with some of your colder mornings, getting it started and getting it warmed up there. All the heater lines are hooked up. We do have the long tube ceramic coated headers on this also to help it breathe. Now it does retain a stock style distributor and coil, but everything is in good working order there. Power brakes, power steering. This is a factory style, stock style radiator here with the shroud and a 6-blade flex fan here. Again, power steering, battery here, looks to be a fairly new battery too. And then it's got the quick disconnect up here. And that's a good feature to have anytime you may not be running the car all the time. Good idea to maybe go ahead and just turn that little nut on that quick disconnect so that you don't have power draining. You know, if there was some kind of like a parasitic drain on it somewhere, you're going to eliminate that part. So, so yeah, that's pretty much it for underneath the car here. Again, it's a big block motor. We had that turbo 400 automatic transmission that we saw from the underside, and then the GM 12-bolt rear. So a good stout drive line on this car. And again, whenever you'll hear this run here in a little bit, you're gonna hear that this thing sounds great. It's quiet, but yet when you give it the gas, it does have a little bit of a rumble to it. So again, a nice package here as far as the driveline goes, and the overall condition of the car is excellent. So we'll go ahead now, take a look at the interior, and then we'll get this fired up for you. That way you get to hear what this motor sounds like. All right, here we are sitting inside our 66 Chevelle Super Sport 396 car here. Again, everything as you look here now at the interior, if I had to make an educated guess, I would say everything on the interior of this car is either new or has almost been brand new at this particular time on this car replaced. So again, the door, the actual door panels themselves, those are in excellent shape. If you look at the trim on those door panels, you can tell how nice those are. Just all the bright work that's on there, and the trim, like I said, excellent condition as far as the door panels go. You've got factory dash here. It does retain your factory fuel gauge and the factory 120 mile an hour speedo in here. We do have, now I don't believe this was factory, but they did put a tack in here on the lower side of the dash to simulate that knee knocker tack. It's just an updated tack, really, an auto gauge tack. So again, good components, and just like it would be, only it's just not the actual factory gauge. Now they did put some aftermarket gauges down below the dash here. You've got your amps gauge, your oil pressure gauge, and your water temperature gauge. A lot of these cars didn't have those up in the dash, and people like to keep an eye on that kind of thing. So they'll put those in just so they can monitor those a lot more closely. Now they did also install an aftermarket Kenwood AM/FM cassette player. It does not look like they had to disturb the dash in any way to do that though. Looks like it mounted in there real nice in the factory holes, so that's real nice that they didn't have to modify anything there. Factory heater controls also, and then of course up here we have the Super Sport designation up here on the glove box there to help tell you what this car actually is. Now again, all this interior, the seats, very comfortable too, by the way. Bucket seats up front, you got your traditional bench in the back there. All the upholstery is all the same, all factory style stuff, all new black vinyl upholstery. You've got the wood grain steering wheel here for the Chevelle also, and that's in good shape. And again, factory center console here for the automatic. You see the automatic floor shifter here, and you also have that console clock down here too. All of the carpeting is in excellent shape on this car too. Black carpeting, you see no tears at all. There's absolutely no fading whatsoever in this either. And I've already mentioned that all the seat belts are present. So you have retractable seat belts on the front. You've got all the seat belts present across the back seat. Dome light works here too for you. The headliner is up nice and tight, and no holes, no tears. Again, this looks to be all new. I've already mentioned when we walked around the car, they installed that LED third brake light. It's mounted back there on the package tray in between your two speakers. Again, a nice little safety feature there for anybody in the car as well as somebody behind you, so they can see you a lot better. And that's really, that's, you know, all in a nutshell, that's it for this car. It's just an excellent car, excellent condition, as you saw from top to bottom. I just don't think there's any way you can be disappointed with this car. So if you have any more questions about this car, any other car on our website here, definitely feel free to give us a phone call or shoot us an email. You can also visit our website at www.hanksters.com for further information, again, on this or any other car. All of our contact information, as always, made available to you throughout all of our photos and our videos. And like I said, you can always call us, email us for more information. At this time, we're all done here. We're going to go ahead and start this up. That way you get to hear what it sounds like, and you've got a real good picture of what this car actually is from the comfort of your own home.